Hello, welcome. We're going to go over some of the problems that you have with your Kurzweil. You'll know what I mean very quickly. Let's take a look at these questions here, 1 through 5. You'll see that on the next page they are 6, 7, 8, 9, and so the logical thing for the machine to do would be to go from 5 to number 6 on the next page. But I just want to show you how many things are in the way of getting from letter 5, number 5 here, to number 6 on the next page. So we'll just go to the end of this sentence, start it up, and see how much we have to go through before we get to number 6 on the next page.
Types of research reports 79 05 INDD 7911/1/2009-93324M 80 Part 2 Preliminary skills needed for conducting research. Topic and purpose. Rapidly skim published research to determine type of...
Well, it never did get to 6 up here. This was 6. We can go look at the zone editor. The way you get there is by hitting Control F5, and or you can get it from the scan bar down here, zone editor, the scan bar. You have to have a scan bar. It's the more expensive Kurzweil that has this. But you can see the number 6 is on number 7 on the scoreboard. Number 1 is this one. 8 is here. This is the 8th zone. The second zone is this little box here, which is completely out of order. So if we want to fix these zones, we start on the first page and we check all the pages, all of the page. Make sure we're going in the right direction. This looks good. Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4 and 5. And Zone 5 should be the last zone. But we got another zone down here at the bottom. Can you see it? This zone has to be taken out. It's going to do nothing but get in our way. So we're going to take that zone and delete it like that. Also over here on this side, the page is too big for the screen, but this number 79 is a page number. So you click on it, that highlights it. Then it takes you to what you want to do. You'll take the top one and delete that zone. Okay, so now we're ready to move on. Now the way you move on to the next page is by hitting Control E. The only thing is that you're going to have some questions before they let you turn the page. Do you want to save the changes you made to this page? You say yes. And you do that by pushing the Y button is the fastest way. So just hit Y and that'll take care of that. Do you wish to recognize the page? I don't. I see no reason to. I'm after what's in the content of the page, not what page number it is. So you hit the letter N and that'll remove that. Now we can go back and hit Control E again, and that will turn the page this time because it has no more questions. So now we're on the next page. So we go to Control F5 and open up the zone editor again. For one thing, we don't even want this, so we just delete it out. Second thing we don't want is for this to be number 6. We want it to be number 1. So we go in here to properties. Well, first you have to highlight it. Okay, now we go in here to properties. and we go to the letter 6 there and we change it to the letter 1, and then it's now 1 where it's supposed to be. I see no reason to have this be anything other than 2, so we'll change this number 2 to 2. And so the first 2 top things are 1 and 2. So then we go to these other things, and actually the whole page is, here's 17, that's one box. So even though we had to do that, I think we're going to go ahead and delete the whole page and rezone it, because there's just too darn many zones down there. See, the reason you don't want so many zones is because they're full of these little words, and you got these 3 dots are zoned, and you know, how are they going to sound? So you got, here's 14, zone 14. So I'm going to delete the whole thing. So delete all zones. It checks with you to make sure you want to do that. You say yes. So now we'll start again. This time we're going to add this zone in. This will be zone 1 since it was the first one we added. And then this one will be zone 2. Go to add zone, and goes right in there like that. Then we go down here to these, and this time we're gonna do it this way. I'm going to move the page into the middle so I get the whole chart. Now, in this case, I'm going to add this, and that'll be zone 3. Zone 4 will be over here, add zone, topic and chart. Topic and purpose, I mean. 4, and then in the middle will be 5. We'll say add zone, and I'm just going to do the title of it. I'm not going to get into all those little specifics. You can read those for yourself. Add zone. Okay, there's 6 zones. On this one, these all have topics, so we can make this all one zone. Oh, sorry. Zone 7. Zone 8. And zone 9. And this ought to be plenty for you to know what this chart is about. And if you want to study it more carefully, you're free to do so. And everything else is out of there that we don't want. So we go to Control E. Yes, we want to save it. No, we don't want to save the pages. Control E again, and we're on the next page. So we go to Control F5. This time we've got a little problem. You have to highlight the zone in order to work on it. So now we go to Adjust Zone. All we need to do for this is to pull out the chapter, chapter 5, and the title of the chapter, and the page number. They were all in the same box with the first heading, which we don't need. So we get out of the zone, and now this place looks pretty good. We've got zone 1, zone 2, and down here we got zone 3. We don't want because it just makes a lot of noise. First you have to highlight it, then you go up and hit delete zone. Go over here because I knew I had another one. I don't see it now. So this page is done. So you go to Control E. Yes, I want to save it. No, I don't want to save the page number. Control E once again, and you're on the next page. Control F5, and you start all over. Here we go with deleting that. And that should have taken us to page 1. Let's see what's going on over here. This should be 1, I would think. Let's see. Summarizing. Oh, here's 1 over here. Now these little boxes here, My Education Lab, are in the internet. The teacher never used the internet. She never used this lab. So we just delete it because we don't need those labs. And we can delete this lab too. First you have to highlight it, then delete it. So now let's see what we got up here. Okay, now this is 1, 2, 3, 4. All looks good. Then you got this zone down here. We're going to get that out of there. Check for page numbers. Okay, we got them. All right. So, but you notice down here at the bottom of this page, you got 2 boxes. So let's go to the next page and see if there's more boxes like that, because they would be a continuation of those 2 boxes. So that's what we want to check for. Yes, we'll save this. No, we don't want the page number. Control E. We're going over here now. And we look down here, and sure enough, there's some more boxes. Now those will be continuing from those other boxes. So this little box up here by itself is another subject. Okay, so we're going to get into that later. But for right now, we want to be sure that our boxes are continued in the order that the author intended for them to be continued. That's the whole thing. It's got to do with getting to know your author and getting to understand what he wants. So let's go to Control F5 and fix these boxes. This is number 4, which ought not to be. So let's just go to properties, and we'll just make that number 1 right now. Number 1, and okay. So now that is number 1, and those boxes will continue from here, and that'll be great. So then after those boxes are done, we go up here to this thing. First of all, we don't want this. We'll take it out, delete it. Secondly, I would say that these are okay. To summary note card for a journal article. 3, then you read your summary note card, and you read the whole thing, and that is number 3. Where the heck is 4? Okay, 4 goes down into this new exercise, and exercise 5 starts here. 5.1, it's exercise 5.1, and it's zone 5. So this page is ready, except for this thing down here. You want to be sure and get that out of there, and anything that goes with that. Okay, so we turn the page. Yes, we want to save it. No, we don't want page numbers. Turn the page. So now we go to Control F5, and we see that we are continuing that exercise. There seem to be 2 parts to that exercise from the previous page. But in order to hear them in order, you have to get rid of this one first. Now this is number 1. So the exercise is continuing on the next page. You have 2, zone 3, status reports. We want to get rid of this one down here right away. Let's see what this status report. Okay, so it says statistical procedures, the findings in quality. So it sounds like something like qualitative, what the thing would be. So let's go to the next page. Control E. Yes, we want to save it. And no, we don't want to recognize the page. Hit Control E once again. Control F5. Qualitative. But we got this zone up here, so we want to get rid of this zone so that when it does come to this page, it'll go right to the end of that word. Qualitative research, or ascertained through verbal logic. And we go down the page. You notice this is all zone 1 now. This whole big page here is all zone 1, right down to for example. So we have score from the highest score, for example, and then we want to go to the next page. So we clear out this bottom thing here, and then this page is ready to go and hear what that example is all about. So we go to Control E to turn the page. Yes, we want to save it. No, we don't want page numbers. Control E once again. And sure enough, the example isn't there. Now the way you push this page back is by going up here to move existing page, because you can bet you can bet that the page you want is the next page. So you just go here and move existing page, and it'll ask you where you want to put it. And you have to figure out the numbering for it. But let's go to the next page and see if that example is there. And we go there, and here's the end of that box. So it's going to take a little doing. What you might end up doing is using underlying text, edit underlining text, to finish this thing up. But anyway, for example, the range of an array of scores from the highest at 45. That is where the page left off. So that is what you would want to be number 1. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done up to page 9 here on Zone Editor. I hope I've covered every possible imaginable way that you would need to do that. I want to move on now and show you that edit underlying word. Let's say you want to start here with reports. Now, if you listen carefully, I'm going to turn it up a little more so you can hear it a little better. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read.
Reports chi-square analysis of variance difference between mean statistical significance. For relationship reports coefficient of correlation statistical significance.
You see how the words kind of run together? Well, you are able to go up here and put in little explanations for each one of these things to kind of separate them from each other. This one was saying chi-square analysis. It didn't mean that. It meant chi-square. That's one kind of mathematical equation. And then over here is analysis of variance. That's another kind of mathematical calculation. So these are different things. You don't run them together. So we're going to go up here and hit edit, and we move down to correct recognition, and it comes into another window, and we go to the bottom with edit underlying text. Now you see down here where this new window opens up, that is where we're going to go. I'm going to move the screen back up to where we were and start with mean. And here's your window where you do your editing. So I'm going to say number 1. Okay. And then I'm going to say over here. And then you go down here just before the word, in this case, and you put number 2. Comma, space, okay. And then standard deviation. So go before the thing and you put number 1. Oh no, this is number 3. Back that up a little bit. Comma, space, and then percentiles. And you put number 4 here. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do is just that first one, because you heard how they all ran together. Now, in order to get out of this box and go back to the regular screen, there's a little X over here on the right side. Can you see it over here? I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is one. You just have to believe me if you don't see it. It's very small, and when you click on it, you'll see this. Do you want to apply the changes you have made to the underlying text? And you say yes. So now it's ready to go. Let's go back and play it and see how it sounds now.
For status reports, number 1, mean, median, mode number 2, norms number 3, standard deviation number 4, percentiles. For group comparison reports, chi-square analysis of variance difference between mean statistical significance.
You can see how it sounds without them and with them. It makes quite a bit of difference, although whether you really want to take the time is up to you. This is your show, and you can do it any way you want, but of course you want it to come out sounding like it should. Let's go from number 5, and here, if we go right into number 6.
What characterizes the 3 different types of research reports? What common analysis terminology, verbal and or statistical, is usually associated with each of the 3 types of report?
Did you hear the little glitch in the way it sounded? Let's play that again.
What common analysis terminology, verbal and or statistical is?
See, it didn't really say this correctly. So you could edit the underlying word and say in there what the author really meant to say if you wanted to. And then when it played back, it would play back what the author was saying, and you know what he was saying. This way, it kind of throws off your concentration. So you may want to go in and edit that too. That's an underlying word. So that's what you do there. Now we're going to go to highlights. And in highlights, I'm taking a different window. And you see the yellow highlights, and then the green, and then the blue, and then the pink. And then the yellow, green, and here's some more yellow and green and blue. There are 4 highlighters up here. Hope you can see those. And the idea of this kind of highlighting, I'm going to show you one other type of highlighting that is a little more advanced. This one, though, each time you hit a new topic, you just change the color of the highlight, and that way you're always following along what the author's saying. That's one way to do your highlighting. Let's see, turn the page some more. sometimes it got very, very concentrated. I was really listening to what the author was saying here when I was highlighting these things. Sometimes I wasn't listening too much, I guess, but then you just go back and look at some more and see what else you can highlight in there later if you want. Anyway, I think you really get to where you understand what the author is talking about. Now we'll go to the more advanced type of highlighting, and you notice the greens are all resources, and the greens are highlighting what the yellows say. So the green is the source that the author decided to use, and then the yellow is what that source was saying. So each time you get a green resource, then you get a yellow highlight as to what he had contributed to this article. And then you go to your other blue. Blue is for subject, and pink is for content of that subject. So also over here we have a sticky note in here, so that will also go in the extraction. And now we're going to go to book notes, bookmarks.
1. Lessons from Language Prosody, the study of the metrical structure of verse.
That's this one down here. That's that one. Let's go to the first one.
Abstract focuses on one specific learning mechanism.
It's in the abstract, you see. And I wrote in this part here, focuses on one learning mechanism. I wrote that in about the what was being said in the abstract. And let's go to the abstract. Just by pushing go to, and you can be there.
Position-based encoding computation. Abstract focuses on one specific learning mechanism.
So here we are. And so let's go to the last one.
Position-based encoding computation. 2 mechanisms for segmenting units. 1.1.
Okay, that's the last bookmark I have. I'm far from finished on this article. I have a long way to go. Here's another sticky note. Denote syllables. That's what this sign is here. I was unable to find a sign for it, but I did see that they explained what the sign meant. It denotes syllables in a speech stream. So I'll be happy to have that. In fact, I could make that a bookmark right there if I want. So let's do, I'll have it here, but here I can't see it. Here I can see it, I think. I'm going to put it in a bookmark. So let's go hit bookmark for that. Denotes, and they make it into an R, which isn't much help, but at least it's showing me where to look, because I'll have that bookmark there to show me what I'm looking for and why. So then we have that bookmark. Here's some more resources. I'm going to have to fill in all the yellow highlighter with these green resources. And it's 31 pages long, so I'm going to be busy. I got up to page 16 and I still don't know what this thing is about, but I have dug in as deep as I can in a big deep hole trying to figure out what this thing is saying. And it's very powerful, really. It's cognitive psychology. It has to do with what you're learning right now, because you use your motor nerves, to study too. And in fact, with the zone editor, you're really working with the material. It's called kinesthetics and psychomotor nerves, and you're working with your motor nerves, and you're actually learning the material. So don't think you're wasting time by zoning all these pages first. It doesn't take that long. And the biggest benefit is that you're able to hear everything in its correct order, that it makes sense to you. So don't forget that. Now, we're going to go ahead back to page 1, and I'm going to show you how to extract all these notes. I'm not going to save them, but I am going to show you how to do it. Let's go ahead now and extract notes and highlights. You get this box up here. We have notes, we got sticky notes, we got bookmarks, and we got highlights. Each highlight, the yellow highlight, is indented at 0 level. And then the green highlight is indented at 0.5. Blue highlight is indented at 1.0. And the pink is at 1.5. So each highlight is indented in a little bit as you go, and you'll see what I mean when I go ahead. And here we go. We're going to go ahead now, and here they come. They're putting in all the highlights, all the sticky notes, and all of the bookmarks. So after this gets done, which shouldn't take too long because like I say, I've got a long way to go. There goes a sticky note there. Lessons from language. There's, I think that was a bookmark. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yes, those are bookmarks. Just a plain print there are the bookmark. Page 6, page 7, and page 8, page 9, 10, 11, 14, 17, 21, 22, 23, you can see the page numbers over here. And all the green highlighting. It's done. Now it's done. So we can go ahead and maximize this window. And now we have all of these notes in the order that we can read very quickly. And once you have them on here, it's easy enough if you like. You don't have to. You can have this read to you, you know.
Page 1, Sticky Note 1, TP-based, Transitional Probability-based Sequence Learning Mechanism.
Or you can highlight the whole thing and put it into a Word document if you like. But the main thing is that you have it all down in this concentrated order to help you better write your reports and so forth. So I think that's all I had to show you today. I hope these things are a help for you. If you have any questions, please let your examiner know. And at that, we'll say bye-bye for now.